I think an interesting use case or interesting use cases will appear where we combine a couple of the digital trends out there. So look at artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things. So everywhere where we can actually end up with a smart process, so the end-to-end user journey, if you like. Think about, we hear a lot about sensors. An example would be a fridge and how you order milk. So you could have a refrigerator which has a sensor, so it could actually understand as to when you run out of milk. But if you apply artificial intelligence to it here, the fridge could actually learn as to what your consumption behaviors are. And then you could facilitate automatically the ordering of the milk as well as the payment via distributed ledger technology. So I think it's very important that we all kind of focus on how we combine digital trends rather than just focusing on one element.
So I think the most exciting use case for blockchain is around some of the work that we're doing. We're looking at how we can build an alternative financial infrastructure for the non-profit sector or the humanitarian sector specifically. We're having to distribute funds internationally. There's a lot of inefficiency within that process. There's also a huge lack of transparency and lack of trust within that process. So I think it gives them an opportunity to support the causes that they're really passionate about and care about.
For insurance, there might be new exciting use cases. If I think about it in insurance terms, there's life insurance and what we call property and casualty insurance. For life insurance, there could be what we call connected health. So everything which brings your data of your health status, your doctor's records and your treatment plan all together with your insurance services. That I think will be quite exciting, and blockchain there can really help. In the property and casualty part, where we see losses to houses, earthquakes, floods, there we're dealing with climate change. And climate change, I think, is a phenomenon where we observe volatility, and that could be recorded on a climate change blockchain and could be really tremendously valuable.
So I think we haven't found all the use cases yet in blockchain. This is still a very new technology, and the exciting use cases might be discovered in a few years' time. I really like all the use cases linking blockchain with IoT, for instance. As an example, if we look at the electricity market, instead of having a central power distributing the energy to a lot of the consumers, you can actually build an electricity network where they can exchange the surplus, produce their own energy. And this is something that really links like blockchain and IoT, and that's something that is very powerful to my mind.
The use cases that empower people are the most interesting to me and sort of, I think, the most important. So if you look at people gaining identity in sort of developing countries, that kind of thing, people being empowered to, if you like, claw back their own data and be able to monetize that, like Ocean Protocol, those kind of things, I think they're killer things. So it's empowerment of the individual. We saw Mycelia earlier, that's really good to empower artists. So all those things I think are going to be mega important and great for the individual.
If I could imagine a world with the combination of the technology of IoT and blockchain, I could imagine a very interesting use case in insurance. So imagine we have IoT sensors planted into wind turbines, for example. And these sensors would tell whether the wind turbines are functioning well or not, whether they are malfunctioning. And these sensors could feed into a smart contract insurance contract that would automatically clear with claims payments. And with these payments, then the customer of these wind turbines could also leverage the services in real time for these turbines. And guess what? On top of that, you can also tokenize the ownership of the wind turbine so that it can be accessible to the many, many retail investors of the world.